There are 335,000 farms in Argentina. 251,000 of them are family farms, owned by people who work them. And 172,000 of those families did not have enough land or enough money to make a living from what they grow. Not because the harvest failed, not because the soil is poor. The soil is some of the best on earth. The Pampas is a flat, deep, dark plain run west out of Buenos Aires. No irrigation needed, no terracing, no fertilizer miracle required. You put seed in it and it grows. In 2024, Argentina exported around 45 million tons of food, roughly half of everything the country sells to the world. By value is something that come out of the ground or walked on it. So here's the thing that should not be possible. The country is extraordinary at producing food and the people producing it are going under. Between 1988 and 2018, the number of families farm in Argentina fell by about 40%. 4 persons in every 10 gone. That is not a bad season. Here is how it works, and I want to be precise because the mechanism is the whole story. Argentina does not mainly tax farmers on what they earn, it taxes them on what they export, a cut taken at the port on the value of the shipment before profit is calculated. They call it retenciones, export duties, which means the tax does not care whether you made money. A large operation shipping 50,000 tons absorb that. It has scale, it has storage, it has the ability to wait for a better price. Then a family with 2,000 hectares does not. Same rate, same port, no caution. In 2021, Argentina ranked second in the entire world for how much its economy grew due to export duties. 2.1% of the GDP. That's the World Bank's number, not mine. Second, out of every country there is. Now watch what happens to the money. Between 2019 and 2021, Argentina's agriculture sector paid $8,700 million more than it received back in investment. $8.7 billion out of the sector in 3 years. 2.1% of the entire economy. This is not a tax. A tax fund the things it taxes. Roads get built, ports get dredged, research gets done. This is a transfer. Money leaves the field and does not come back to them. And you can see exactly where it lands. About 1/3 of Argentina's rural population has unmet basic needs. Not enough to access healthcare, to educate, to the internet, in some places to a telephone line, on the best farmlands in the world. Here's the part that makes it worse, and it's the part that nobody puts in the headlines. Those family farms, the ones being squeezed out, supply about half the food that Argentina actually eat. The big export operations grow soya. Soya goes on a ship because Argentina do not eat much soya. So the country has built a system that rewards growing what leaves and punishes growing what stays. Which means every family farm that fails is not just a family. It's a piece of the country's own dinner subtracted. They also export $10.8 billion in 2021 from family farms alone. They are not insufficient and they are not a charity case. They are being taxed at the rate of the people who can afford it by a state that needs money more than it needs them. Now I have to be fair about something because I'd rather tell you the inconvenient version. Argentina is currently getting better. Poverty peaks at 52.9% in the first half of 2025. By the second half of 2025, INDEC put it at 28.2%. The lowest since 2018. That is real. Inflation came out and income caught up. I am not going to pretend that it doesn't happen because it complements the video. Independent researchers at Catholic University put the numbers higher, around 36%, and argue that official matters flatters it. Both of those things can be true. The direction is down. But notice what changed. Prices stabilized, income rose. Nobody changed how the land is taxed. Nobody changed who absorbs it. The weather improved, the structure didn't. And this is the part I actually wanted to talk about. It is very easy to look at Argentina and feel superior. To say bad government, bad choices, corruption, chaotic. Look at all of them. That is the lazy read and it lets you off. Because the mechanism here is not Argentina. A state that is short of money will always tax the first thing it can see. Grain going through a port is visible. It cannot hide. It cannot move offshore. It cannot hire lawyers. So it gets taxed. Not because it is fair, but because it is catchable. Everywhere in the world, the people who got squeezed hardest are the people who are easiest to find. That is not an Argentina flaw. That is the rule about power. The soil never failed. The people never stopped working. Somebody decided where the money would be collected, and somebody decided where it would go. And those two somebodies were not the same as the people standing in the fields. Facts don't have nationality. Want the version of this that nobody says out loud? The system was never built for people like us to win. It was built for people who are hard to tax. Tell me in comments which country you want me to take apart next. And if you are wondering how a country gets to a point that it had to tax its own harvest just to stay solvent, well, that's the dead story. It is the next one.